Hey everyone, it's Retro Liquor, and today we're working with PlayStation Part 4. Now, unfortunately, I've skipped ahead. It's Part 4, but the PlayStation is finished. So last time we spoke, a couple of weeks ago, you saw the PlayStation completely unmolested, untouched. And I was going to do one of these little videos every step of the way, make a little vlog for myself, as well as those interested in following the journey. Unfortunately, because my health has been so bad, if you remember I told you last time, I have pneumonia, I still have it, I'm still recovering. It's up and down all over the place, I'm not consistently getting better. There are days where I'm worse, there are days where I wake up in pain, or I can't breathe properly, or just my energy levels are so low that walking to the shop, doing a tiny bit of work, I'll need to go lie down afterwards. And that's just part of being sick, I guess. But so I prioritized the time, and I prioritized the project and the content that PlayStation wanted for me. I prioritized these things over the need to document this for me, for posterity, for my own personal use, for those wanting to follow the project as well. So it is the end of the project. I have finished. I finished the other day. PlayStation were, I won't say they were getting a bit antsy, but they came to me and they said, hey, do you think you could have it by next week? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. They came to me and they said, right, the game was released on the 19th of January. Now, they didn't even have the PlayStation to me by this point. So I've knocked the entire thing out in less than a month. Because they then said, how about we make the deadline the 19th of February. Then it's a month anniversary of the game. Let's celebrate with this fantastic PlayStation. I said I'll do my best for that deadline, but I am unwell. I did disclose. I said I've been in hospital. I didn't go into mad detail, but I was like, I've been in hospital. I've been unwell. I'm a little behind. So I'll do my best for that schedule, for that deadline. And I knew damn well that I wouldn't make it because I was really sick at the time. I was on some tablets, some medication to help with my pneumonia and my infection with the fluid on my lungs. And the side effects of that medication were probably worse than the sickness itself, because I couldn't eat, and I was being sick or feeling sick, and I was not feeling great, and my mental health, it hit me mentally really bad, the side effects of that. So I stopped taking them. Even though you stop taking them, it takes maybe another week to get out your system. Then I stopped taking them, I started feeling better. Then, instead of the pain in my right lung where the pneumonia had been living, I developed a pain in my left lung, a new pain, and my cough got worse, and I started getting even more tired. I was concerned that the pneumonia had spread to my left lung now, so I've got a nurse coming around to my house in about an hour or so to take my blood, so they can assess my infections and stuff like that. But I did go to hospital the other day. I had another x-ray, another ultrasound in my right lung. Things do look better visibly, like there's less pneumonia in my lung, there's less fluid on my lung. It's okay, like I'm getting better. It's just really slow. And as you can tell even now with me talking to you, I'm tired and I'm out of breath, and just doing this video, this is why I've not been doing this. It's because it's very taxing, and I have to pick and choose where my energy reserves go, because I've got so little of them right now. So I've been putting all my energy reserves into the PlayStation itself and making the content itself. So I'm going to do a couple of other videos. Now, I filmed the entire project. Now, the content portion of this was hilarious. Because I filmed everything. I was like, I'm going to do something on the PlayStation, I'm going to set up my phone, I'm just going to film, I'll get 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. I imported all of the footage into my editing software, and I think we had about 3 hours of footage. And I'm then there like, oh, we got to go through that. We got to edit it down. And this was on the Sunday. I spent the entire Saturday finishing the thing off and filming the content. I got the videos of the end product and everything. I spent the Sunday editing it. I sent it to them Sunday night, knowing they're going to get it in office Monday morning. And I started whittling it down. There were certain parts of the process that I didn't want to show, that I'll never show. It's just my own personal preference, because I've invented those techniques for this. I don't want people seeing them. People try and rip the design off as it is. I don't want to give them any easier a job by giving them techniques that I've invented to make it look and feel the way that I want it to. So there are certain parts that I immediately delete, 10-minute chunks, 20-minute chunks of doing certain parts of this process that I don't wish to share. So, and I will share, after this video maybe, depending on how much time we've got, I will include the finished product video that I sent to PlayStation. And the video that I did send to PlayStation, they got back to me and the feedback was amazing. They didn't say a lot, but they said something along the lines of, it is as perfect as we thought it would be. So for me, as feedback from PlayStation, and that's what I was worried about. I was worried they wouldn't like it. I was worried because, like, it's not clean. It's dirty, and it's apocalyptic, and it's grungy, and overgrown, and mossy, and it's not everybody's cup of tea. No, absolutely not. So I was worried. I was concerned. Man, what if they don't like it? They said it's perfect. And for me, that is a really big compliment. So in a second, I'm going to show you the finished product. We're going to talk about it a tiny bit because, like I said, last time you saw me, I had the PlayStation 5 Slim, completely untouched. And then since then, I brought it in here, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do some voiceovers over some of the videos so we can still get a bit of a look at what went on, even though I wasn't actively doing this and filming this. So I sanded it down and I put my bits on, and I got my design that I'd been drawing out. I've got it right here. This is what I drew. This was my original concept for the design. And again, it's in two halves, the top plate and the bottom plate. Then I had to bridge this gap. But this was the original concept for the design. It's very similar to my other design that I do. I didn't go crazy. On the original concept art that I've not shown you yet, I did include some embellishments or whatever. I had some holes in it and some fence sticking out and some plants growing out of it and stuff. These were just concepts, and I didn't even have the time to explore whether that would be possible, let alone the practicalities of putting that into place in such a short deadline. So let me get the PlayStation. We'll have a bit of a talk about it, and then we'll wrap it up. And I'll do a couple more videos later on. Like I said, just some of the process. And I will include the PlayStation in this video, or in another video, just so you can see what PlayStation saw, what I sent PlayStation, just a quick, and it's 1 minute long. I've condensed a whole month's worth of work, a whole 3 hours out of footage into a minute. So it's a lot of waste. It's a lot of footage that'll never get seen, so I would like to share that, and I would like to voice over talking what I'm doing and why. So here is the Last of Us Part 2 Remastered PlayStation Slim that I made for PlayStation, that they asked me to make, that they commissioned me to make. And that in itself, that statement there, is huge for me. As an artist, as a gamer, to be reached out to by PlayStation, said, we want you to make this for us. Let me show you the back. And you've seen my designs before, you know my stuff. I put in a little extra effort, like round the back. I painted all this to make it like gunmetal. But it's no, the only difference from my usual designs is the remastered bit. And I specifically made this out of like wood, and I had it spray painted on. I wanted it to look like an afterthought, like it was sprayed on and just nailed on. So, same with this. I wanted this to look like, you know, that sort of keep out piece of wood nailed across a door. But I did have some, I won't say issues, but like the buttons and the holes. The disk drive button here was a bit of a, not even a challenge, it's just new. I have to work around it, I have to think about how things are going to work. Just like the gap here that we spoke about. And I've bridged it with the letters but left space for the air to flow. Same around the back. I bridged the gap at the Firefly. Left here. Used some new little plants and stuff that I hadn't used before. But in general, like, I'm so happy with the design. I'm so happy with how it came out. And I always say this about my work. It's a terrible thing to say, but it's true. It looks terrible until it looks good. And it looks terrible for about 90% of the project. And then the second you like put this moss on, the second you start dirting it up, making it grimy, making it apocalyptic, it really starts to come together. And unfortunately that doesn't happen until the last 10%. So I've got to have a lot of faith throughout the process as it's coming together. But yeah, I hope you like it. I will probably do another video, not part of this project, but just revealing the PlayStation, because I've spoken to them again. They want to talk to me on the phone later today. They want to talk about paying me. They want to talk about getting this back. There is going to be a giveaway on PlayStation for this PlayStation. So if it hasn't happened already, stay tuned and we'll see if we can't get this bad boy in your home. I'd quite like to keep it myself, but that's not going to happen. So we're about 12 minutes in now. I usually make these videos 15 minutes. I'm going to include what PlayStation saw, the video that I made for PlayStation after I finish talking. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will catch you in another video to talk more crap about this project. But unfortunately, this is the end, and it has not been the magical journey that I wanted it to be. It has been a struggle, and it has been somewhat underwhelming, and it's been hard, and I'm disappointed. I feel let down. I feel like I've let people down. This was supposed to be a big deal, and I feel like it's come at the worst possible time for me. So I can only hope that my work, my art here, has not been overshadowed to PlayStation by the fact I've been sick. I've not been at the top of my game. I hope they get it, and I hope they love it, and I hope they come back for more. So thank you for watching this video. I will catch you very soon.
The number of confirmed deaths has passed 200. The governor has called a state of emergency.
There are hundreds and hundreds of bodies lining the streets.
Panic spread worldwide after a leaked report from the World Health Organization showed that the latest vaccination tests have failed.
With the bureaucrats out of power, we can finally take the necessary steps.
Los Angeles is now the latest city to be placed under martial law. All residents are required to report to their designated quarantine. Riots have continued for a third consecutive day, and winter rations are at an all-time low.
A group calling themselves the Fireflies have claimed responsibility for both attacks.
Their public charter calls for the return of all branches of government.
Demonstrations broke out following the execution of 6 more alleged Fireflies.
Rise with us. Remember, when you're lost in the darkness, look for the light. Believe in the Fireflies.